and welcome to another episode of the Let's Get Kraken podcast. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming back. It means a lot to me. And if you are a new viewer, hi. Thank you so much for clicking on the video to join me in some yarny adventures, some fun. I really appreciate you as well. I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made. Nope. I'm the owner of Kraken Made. Kraken Made is my Instagram holding. Really just jumping into the intro, messing it up. I've tried this a few times, so I'm just going to continue on with this one. I'm Eden. I'm the owner of Kraken Made, where I sell handmade treasures such as progress keepers, stitch markers, hand-dyed yarn, opal yarn, and my own pattern designs. You can find me on Instagram as Kraken Made. You can also find me and my patterns on Lovecrafts and Payhip. There we go. We did it. The links to everything I talk about today and all the stuff I've said already will be in the description box below. Okay, so I have a finished object. I just finished it this morning. I really wanted to have it done for this podcast, so awesome. I've got only a couple works in progress to show you. I didn't really do a whole lot of actually I did quite a bit of knitting, but not as much as I had hoped. But I do have a ton of brand new colorways to show you guys that of hand-dyed yarn that is coming to the shop, or it will be in the shop once you see this this podcast episode. I've got, what on earth? Magic! I have yarn coming right out of me. I don't know where that came from. I didn't notice it when I put this shirt on. Oh goodness. But before we hop into all that, I really wanted to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribed, who commented, and liked the last podcast. It was a really big impact to me that views actually doubled thanks to you guys. Like, that's amazing. It's amazing what you guys can do, and I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast and you enjoy it, please do. Yeah, I've just been trying to build my little yarny world up a little bit. I'm a small business. I'm not a small person, but small in my impact on the internet. So every little thing counts, and I really want to say thank you for doing that for me. So if you like the podcast, do subscribe, comment, introduce yourself if you're new, and even share it with somebody who might enjoy the podcast. That just sends me out a little bit more into the yarny world to connect with more people. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Guess we can just hop right into the yarny stuff, eh? Let's get cracking. Okay, so I'll start with the finished object. Just got coffee in my wifey mug today. Okay. So I've just got it in this bag right now. It's all done. It just needs to be blocked. I finished the Sunday morning baby dress, I believe it was called. I will leave the link to this pattern down below. The designer is from Portugal, and I cannot pronounce her name for the life of me, but she has so many beautiful designs for dolls, but mostly baby knits. Sorry. But it's so cute. I just finished it this morning. So yeah, the Sunday morning baby dress. And oh my goodness, I knit this out of my own hand-dyed yarn. This is Octoflage, and it is a speckled yellow yarn that just, it gets more yellow as the camera goes out. It's about, that's probably its true color. And oh my goodness, it's just so pretty. The only thing I changed with this pattern is that I couldn't figure out the waistband. You're supposed to knit an I-cord onto it, but I was able to like make a crochet version and just made a fake one and it worked out really well. So what you do is, it has this little cinch in the back that you can do up into a little bow, and then once it's blocked I will add the little button up here and then it'll be complete. So I just knit this as like a sample knit to use this yarn because it's so pretty, and I was really wanting to make something that was really summery, and well, it's not really a summer wear, it's definitely very happy looking because of the yellow in there. So I'm gonna get a bunch of pictures for it, and then I am going to send it off to somebody who's having a baby girl later this summer, so it will be a perfect fit, hopefully, by the time fall comes around. So I'm really happy to be able to make something that was a lot of fun, very easy. It's a 2-skein DK weight article of clothing, I guess would be the best way to put it. And I'll show you my leftovers. It's a little bit of a messy cake, but I'll redo it. But there it is. I have quite a bit left over in my second thing, so I'm wondering if I might be able to crochet a little stuffed animal to go with the dress. That would be so cute. So I might do that. Yeah, so I'll get a bunch of pictures. I have some of this yarn in the shop, so if you're interested in using it in something else, or you just want to make the exact same thing, I have enough to do one more dress. And she does have the Sunday morning romper as well. I bought the pattern of the two together, so I'll probably knit a romper for somebody at some point. And it's a DK weight pattern for both of them. But it's so wonderful. So I'll get it blocked, get a bunch of pictures, and yeah. So it's a mix of both of, I had fun making it, and then somebody else can enjoy it and use it. So that is a really special thing when it comes to baby knits and crocheted things, is that you can enjoy making it, and even if you don't have kids, somebody's gonna love it for their own children. So yeah, I knit this. Last thing, I must say what needles I used. I used 3.25, which is smaller than what the pattern calls for, but I got very close gauge with it. Once it's blocked, I'm pretty sure it'll be the exact same. So that's good. I've been doing better with gauge. I have not swatched per se, but I measured the stitch count on other things I've made, and so far it's worked out perfectly. I've gotten the same idea of gauge swatching, so it's a little bit of a cheat, but it works. It's not stupid if it works. Okay, works in progress. So I said that I was gonna try and get my halibut sweater split for sleeves, but the flu that my younger brothers had caught beforehand, I got it, and it was awful. I was so tired. I slept a lot. So I didn't really, when I wanted to sit and knit, while I was sick, I was not in the mood for color work at all. So I just, I put most of my work into my spring autumn jacket, which is just garter, and it was glorious because I could just knit away. So I didn't even touch my halibut sweater this week, unfortunately, but I'll show you the progress I made. So I am, again, if you haven't seen this before, I am knitting the Spring Autumn Jacket by Reuel, and it is a wonderful cardigan that is all garter, and I finished the back and have started the side panel. So last time you saw me, I was probably like halfway through the back, but there's the back. And there is one of the side panels. So it's knit entirely flat and then just seamed together. Let's see if I can do this. Oops. There we go. It'll be something like that, which actually looks pretty good. I have been nervous about this entire pattern, like all the way through. It just, in my brain, how this is constructed and the stitch count, it doesn't feel like it should work, but it keeps working. So it's actually very surprising. It's been fun. I really like it. And it's going to be so nice because it is 100% natural wool. They are a farm in Finland, and here's their Instagram, Rintalan Tila, right there. And you can get their yarn, but the entire website is in Finnish. You just have to Google translate it. This is a sport weight yarn, and the pattern calls for worsted, but I did make sure that I got very close gauge with this. I had to go up like 3 needle sizes, but I was still able to get that pretty close gauge. And I'm not really worried about it being a little bit small meshy, because this is 100% wool and it is going to bloom for sure, and it'll fill in that gaps. And I think it's going to be like a really light and warm cardigan or jacket. I'm going to wear it like a cardigan for sure. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait for it to be complete. And it's been a great movie knit. So when we all sit down to watch something, or I sit down to watch a podcast, this is the thing I gravitate towards too, because it's just garter and it's awesome. Man, I should say what needles I'm using. I'm using size 6mm US 10, which is way bigger than what the pattern calls for. But I've gotten pretty close gauge. She has very loose gauge, so I think it'll work out okay. And it's so soft. It's crazy. Like, you can tell it's real wool, but it's really nice and soft. So I highly recommend this yarn. Oh, and my progress keepers. I forgot about those. They are both mine. Very early makes. This is, whoa, stay still. This is gillyweed cake that I made very early on in my business. And then I think this was last year's fall time thing. It's a little pumpkin turtle, which will come back when autumn comes back. Okay. And then the other whip that I've been working on is brand new, because just like that. I thought I wouldn't cast anything more on, but then I just did. But I have a good excuse for this. I'm knitting with my new hand-dyed yarn. This is a Pirates of the Caribbean inspired colorway. This is Barbossa's Apple. And it is on a brand new base. So I'll talk about the yarn first. This is a 3-ply fingering, but it is 1-ply superwash merino, and then it is 2-ply non-superwash merino, which causes it to kind of have this barber pole. Let's see if I do it. It's kind of hard on the fingering. This barber pole look. It's really cool. I'll show you on the DK. Here you go. So there it is on the DK, so you can really see it there. So it'll be on fingering and DK. And I am knitting my own pattern. This is the Reuel Socks. I've just gotten started on my first one here. It is a simple seated ribbing sock that you do toe up. And oh my goodness, is this yarn soft? Sorry. And sturdy. And a blast to both dye and work with. I am so happy with this base. I'm pretty sure this is just going to be my permanent main base. So here we go. I got a lot of work done on this yesterday actually, and I forgot how much I enjoy this pattern, which is kind of funny with it being my own design, but it's been a while since I've knit this. I designed this last summer. So it'll be almost a year. So I will probably just start making an annual pair. It's so much fun, and this pattern works great for tonals like this. It works great for variegated, self-striping, speckled, whatever, because it's intricate, but it's really simple to do, so it works with any yarn. I can 99.99% guarantee that. I've yet to see a yarn it doesn't work with. Then the Progress Keeper is from a movie club that I did last year, inspired by the movie Chocolate. So it is it's a little chocolate from the movie. If you've seen the movie, you know what this is. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the word on YouTube. I don't know if that's a word that you get thrown off, but anyway, it's not a bad word. I'm not swearing. It's just I don't know if I'll get dinged from YouTube for saying it, but that sounds terrible. But anyway, movie Chocolate. Wonderful movie. I love it. I'll probably watch it again soon, but yeah, that was from that club, and I thought it went well with this color. But it's so soft, like it doesn't feel woolly, but you know the wool is there. So I'm very curious of how well this is going to hold up, because it is natural wool. It doesn't have any nylon in it, but I don't think that's gonna matter. But oh, so much fun. Oh, that darn ring light. Here we go. So yeah, Reuel Sock, designed by me. It is available on all the platforms that I'm on. And some new hand-dyed yarn that I will show you next, which is a good segue into hand-dyed yarn. So let's get into that. Alright, so this past week, once I was feeling better, it was just all hand-dyeing new yarns, because it's so exciting. So it's a brand new base. There's some dyed by me, there's some dyed by my mom, and even one dyed by my husband. who helped me out a lot for this update, which I really appreciate. So let's start with Barbossa's apple, because I just showed you. This skein is a little crazy. I did not wind it up well. I usually send my yarn vacuum sealed, so my hank winding skills don't really matter. So here it is on the fingering base. It is it's actually pretty close. It's a little blown out, but it is just like a really summery green with some hints of gold in there, trying to mimic a Granny Smith apple. And here it is on the DK. And again, this is my Whirlpool base, which is 1 ply superwash merino and then 2 ply non-superwash merino. So the superwash sucked in that color right away and just like took it on strongly. The non-superwash is a little bit lighter, giving it a really cool look. This one is quite subtle, but I have some that took it on intensely and it's so pretty. So that is Barbossa's apple. And let's do this one, which is a more intense one. This is Basalt, which is a bluish gray, and you can see this is the Whirlpool base again, and it just took that on so beautifully. It's really dark gray on the superwash, but a really nice light gray on the non-superwash part. And for the care of this, I would recommend treating it like a non-superwash yarn, because it's more non-superwash than superwash. It will probably felt, but it will bloom nicely and you'll still get that lightness. It's gonna be awesome. A sweater in this would be amazing. I don't have sweater quantities, but pretty soon I will probably start figuring out how to offer sweater quantities. Yeah, so that is Basalt, and I'll just do all the Whirlpool bases first. Chocolate, so there it is on the fingering, and this one took it on so pretty. Oh my goodness, I love this one. So again, Whirlpool base, chocolate. This is Beach Sunset, so this is the fingering. This is the DK. I'm going to unwind it so you can see it in all its glory. So it's meant to have the sunset on the beach right here, the sand, and then the water, which is really cool. He's so smart. Did it really well. So yeah, and so far we found all the yarns go together so well. So like there's this one. These two could go together and make something really cool. I really like this one, this pair, because it kind of gives me like tiki house vibes. Like the tiki house in Disneyland. And then these two, oh my goodness, they'd be so cool together. And then the last one, this is Little Cuttlefish. So it is a really cool pink with some gold spurts in there. That's the DK. Turned out really, it's a little paler than the fingering, but it's so pretty. A good pink, because like, oh my goodness, these two together, so pretty. Or Barbossa's apple in this. Oh, it's so happy. I love that. Even like these two. Like, I mean, that's a far fetch, but I would totally work those two together. That'd be a certain taste one, but I really like that pair. Okay, and then the ones my mom dyed is on a really cool base. So these guys, this is on a sparkle DK. This is Mer Chieftainess. It is 75% extra fine merino, 20% silk, and 5% stellina. So it is like butter and a non-super wash. It's so surprising. Like, you feel it and you would never guess that. That silk just makes it so soft and light. Well, not really. Silk is quite heavy, but it's light feeling, if that makes sense. Like, it's so smooth. And then it is very sparkly. So this one is inspired by Mermaids of the Black Lake, which is why it's called Mer Chieftainess. It's so pretty. Oh, I love it. And then this one is Narnian River God. It's on the same base. Merino, silk, and stellina. Oh my goodness. It's like a very sagey... It's too dark. Like that. It's a very sagey green with a mix of a little bit of a darker green. It's not a tonal. It's got a little bit of variegation to it, which is really cool. And okay, we got 2 left. We have this one. This is a color squall. A squall is a sea storm that comes up suddenly, nobody saw coming, and it's a complete surprise. So that's what I'm calling my one-of-a-kind colorways. So that is this one. This is a color squall, and this is on a Donegal tweed, 84% superwash merino, 16% cotton acrylic nep, and it is a fingering. And oh my goodness, isn't that pretty? So that is a tweed. It's got pink tweed in there. It's just a mix of deep pinks, purples. It's got some gold in there. It's got a little bit of red in there. So pretty. So those are one-of-a-kinds. And then last but certainly not least, we have one sock set this update. This is the Flower Moon sock set. So it's inspired by the flower moon that happened recently. It's a deep red with some shadowing and then a pink mini to go with it. And my mom dyed this too. She did such a good job. It looks really good. This is also on the Donegal nep tweed fingering. Oh my goodness, so pretty. So pretty. So I think that's everything. I went through that faster than I thought. But I'm gonna hold them all up in my arms. It's such a big update. Ooh. Ta-da! I'm gonna hold still so you can see it all. I made a mess with one skein, but that's okay. So much yarn. I'll show you the baskets that I've been keeping them in. So we got the fingering basket. There's all of them in there. Ooh, okay. And then we got, whoa, gotta reach. Ooh, gonna fall out here. And then we got the DK basket. Ta-da! Yay! So much yarn. I'm so excited for all of it. I hope you guys are too. It will be in the shop by the time you see this podcast episode, so if you see anything you like, hop on over to the shop and grab it. I have limited stock for every colorway just because I'm a brand new dyer and I'm just figuring stuff out as I go. I hope to have more sweater quantities and larger quantities of yarn somewhat soon. But yeah, that is all that's been happening in my yarny life. I've been very excited with all this coming out. Yeah, I hope you are all doing well and that the weather has been nice. We've got a sunny streak happening here. So that's been nice instead of all the rain we've been having. I'm almost over the flu. I kind of sound like it's still there just a little bit, but we're all pretty healthy now, which is great. It was rough, but we got over it, and we were able to still get healthy enough to do all the yarn. I was still able to do some knitting, which is awesome. And yeah, so... Oh, and the last thing I wanted to talk about is I'm doing an advent calendar for the first time. It is a 12-day Progress Keeper advent called 12 Days of Christmas at Sea. So it's all ocean-inspired Progress Keepers. They'll be done in different mediums, like paper and metal and polymer clay. And it'll be awesome. And that is available in the shop. I have quite a few left, so if that's something you're interested in, you can go and see the inspiration photo and get one of yours. They will ship out at the end of October so that you have it in time for Christmas. And if you do go to buy yarn and buy the advent calendar, buy them separately, because if you order anything with the advent calendar, everything that goes with the advent calendar will be shipped with the advent calendar in October. So I feel really bad for your yarn just sitting there until October. That'd be terrible. So order them separately. And yeah, so that's all I have to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the podcast, consider subscribing. I upload a podcast every other week, and then I've been doing ASMR videos every other week. Now that I am better and not coughing every 10 seconds, I'll be doing an ASMR video this week. So I'll get back to that. Yeah. I guess I'll see you next time. Bye!